Mexico is a country that blends a variety of cultures, histories, and traditions with a prominent European and Amerindian influence. This country also highlights many stories that have been passed down from generation to generation, with the Black Charro legend being one of the most well-known among children and adults from all social classes. People in some states of the Mexican Republic are aware that a skinny, lifeless-looking rider on a shiny black horse emerges along rural roads or in isolated areas and provides a bag full of cash out of fear. But no one wants it. You're probably wondering who wouldn't desire easy money. Well, that's what you're about to know, and once you're done, it's up to you to decide whether you want to. El Charro Negro is a supernatural character from Mexican mythology that originated in Cholula Puebla. He has made appearances in a number of different Mexican cities, including Morelos, 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐞, Tlalpan, San Andres Totoltepec, Veracruz, Hidalgo, and Tlaxcala, among others. Although the Black Charro's presence can be traced back to the period of the Mexican conquest, the contemporary interpretation associates it with a figure of the devil. Unlike other supernatural beings who seek to terrorize a population wandering the streets of Mexico or show their pain for a loss, the Black Charro represents a punishment of moral order. According to the myths, the Black Charro usually appears at night in isolated and deserted areas, constantly in search of someone to deliver or make an offer of money or gold coins, which he usually grabs from his pocket or a bag he carries with him. The Black Charro is characterized as a person with the general traits of being tall and quite elegant, dressed in black clothing that includes a jacket, shirt, and pants, as well as a particular hat, which makes him look very, very good. It is believed that he represents punishment and tempts his victims in order to make them fall and thereby administer a rather ruthless punishment. Although there are many versions that describe this mysterious figure, and each section of the country where they are told gives them its own spin. One of the most well-known claims that the ghost, when he was a human, came from a modest country family. However, his ambition was so great that he always loved to be well-dressed even if he ran out of money to eat. Oh, in simple terms, he wanted to live an Instagram-able life just like all of us. But he went a step ahead when he got tired of his sorrow and called upon the devil to answer his call. Well, at least someone is answering calls, right? And presented him with a priceless offer of wealth and money in return for his soul, which the man readily accepted. However, he tried to flee from his obligation on his horse and with a bag full of gold coins so that the devil would not take it from him. He was captured, and from that point on, he was doomed to travel in the bones and collect from the devil's debtors, which dressed as a charro. Interestingly, the Charro Negro is now a wandering horseman who is on the lookout for someone to take his place in hell. He also serves as a debt collector for anyone who owes an evil force, generally a demon, money. Others claim that El Charro Negro, a mysterious macho figure who altered lives in exchange for sacks of gold, was actually Satan. When this fanciful man appeared, it bestowed a bag of money on anyone who had the misfortune to come across it while traveling. However, no one wanted the bag of gold coins because they knew that fear is a devil's ploy. His story is a classic of the Mexican Revolution, when working as a miner was a lucrative career that could support a large family, at least in slave-like conditions. Juan, an ambitious and pessimistic miner who frequently lamented his circumstances, served as the story's protagonist. After work one day, Juan went to the nearby cantina and started drinking with his friends. A few beers down, in the sweltering heat of the night, Juan said that life was terribly unfair to them. A tall, black-clad charro entered the cantina and made his way to Juan's table, whispering in his ear, "If you desire, your wish might come true." I would give anything to be wealthy and powerful. When Juan's buddies and others heard it, they left. But Juan was desperate. He was then instructed by the enigmatic figure to visit the Coyote Cave, which was an ancient abandoned mine, and that too on the same night. Alcohol had given Juan the confidence to nod and go to the mine. When he reached there, he waited for a while without noticing anything unusual. But as soon as he made the decision to leave, he saw a snake staring at him in a hole. Juan was astounded by the animal's immense size and decided to take it home so he could sell it the next day. When he got home, he made the decision to confine the snake to an old dry pit and cover it with thick, heavy planks to prevent it from escaping. Due to the high levels of alcohol still present in his body, he struggled to fall asleep and experienced a number of visions and nightmares that he was unable to distinguish. In one of his dreams, the snake he had captured spoke and said, "Thank you for giving me your home and accept that I enter in your souls. When you wake up, you will find in your barn the payment for your soul. If you decide to accept it, you will have to give me your son." Juan walked to the barn after waking up and saw some sacks filled with gold coins among the corn. He was completely perplexed when his wife's tears and cries brought him back to reality. His youngest son had disappeared, while his other son pointed to the hole. When Juan removed the boards, he found his little boy torn to pieces, with no trace of the snake. Juan purchased some land and established a farm in order to satisfy his greed and in an attempt to forget about losing his son. A few years later, the snake made another offer to trade for his son when it appeared in nightmares. He no longer saw this as a concern because his greed had so completely blinded him that he had no regard for innocent lives or families. Juan then started to change. To have more sons, he had numerous mistresses in distant cities. The mysterious Charro would emerge after the babies were born and take them away. In a short period of time, his wealth increased. However, you can't take money with you when you die. So when Juan's day arrived, the mysterious Black Charro reappeared at his funeral as mourners prayed. The Charro was shouting and demanding payment. He moved toward the casket and remarked in a frightening voice as he approached it and said, "Juan, I am here to collect your last payment." He finished that phrase and then vanished, leaving behind a pungent sulfur odor. The astonished and terrified crowd made the decision to open the coffin. To their surprise, Juan's body had merely been reduced to its skeleton. According to legend, ever since that night, El Charro Negro has been seen at night in both urban and rural areas, prowling the streets in search of anyone willing to barter their souls, as well as the souls of their sons, for some gold coins. Juan's tale, at the very least, has made people think twice before chasing after money because you never know what you can lose in the process. So, what do you think about it? Do you feel content with what you have, or would you still pursue easy money? Don't worry, we won't say a word to El Charro Negro, regardless of your response. So please tell us in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can bring you more of such amazing mythical stories in the future. We'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.